I want to talk to Adam McCullough. You just got smashed at home by
Full name
Fulham.
basis now, yeah. We're just full naming everyone.
Yeah, of course, mate.
All right.
We had Bassi out here looking like prime Beckenbauer at Old Trafford. It was embarrassing, mate. What happened in that game?
It was a bad performance from Manchester United. I haven't seen as bad a performance. I know we've been really bad. I think it was the 10th defeat of the season or something incredible like that, which says it all about where Manchester United are at the minute. But this was a game where we went into it thinking, right, you get a victory here. Spurs ain't playing this weekend because they should have been playing Chelsea, so they've got a weekend off. And you could potentially put real pressure on them by going level on points with them. You know, Villa would then come into distance from you, and you start thinking about possible Champions League football for next season. But I think that defeat has pretty much meant we're not getting Champions League football for next season.
Not even fifth.
I don't think. Well, it's looking like it's not going to go to England, isn't it? The fifth spot. Although things can change with coefficients,
it could change, yeah.
It's looking like it's not going to go there. But even if it did, we're not going to catch Villa or Spurs. And results like that are the reason why. Because Fulham fans were singing, "How shit must you be? We're winning away." That says all you need to know about their form.
They're the second worst away record to
and
Sheffield
Manchester United let them rock up there. And we played well. This is one of the things that's worried me. And this is why I'll say now, I'm not going to go into the game and all that. But this is why I'm worried about Ten Hag at the moment. I'm behind him. Everyone knows I want him to do well. But me wanting him to do well, it doesn't mean he's going to do well. And at the moment, you're seeing Ineos, Jim Ratcliffe and all those guys come in and make wholesale changes to Manchester United. They're working from the top and they're going to the bottom. And eventually they're going to get to the position where they need to decide what they're doing with the manager. Mm-hmm. And for me, I feel he's on trial between now and the end of the season. We've got a game coming up against Forest to save our season, because if we go out of the FA Cup, it's over. Mm-hmm. And you start to look then at, right.
It isn't, no.
Are you getting enough out of this
Because you
side?
can still get top four.
But that's not much like with Chelsea. Like that's not it doesn't mean it's a successful season, does it?
It still means you have a lot to play for, though. Like the reason why I take umbrage with you suggesting that Manchester United need the FA Cup and rely on the FA Cup to keep their season alive is because it is true about Chelsea.
Sorry, I meant that in the true sense of just we won't win a trophy if we don't.
Winning something.
Winning trophies is an important thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, I hear you, and we are still fighting for Champions League potentially. But
I'm so surprised by your Fulham result.
Like I just said, that result means we're not getting Champions League.
I just didn't see the Fulham result happening. I think, in terms of obviously, with Super 6 where we try and predict things, the form that Manchester United were in, the week that Manchester United had, like I didn't necessarily agree with this, but I think a lot of Manchester United fans were quite invigorated by the way that Sir Jim Ratcliffe spoke about taking over the club. It felt like things were kind of building in the right direction. They've shown some good form. You were slightly rejuvenated. You were playing well. You were winning. Beat Villa, which is a 6-pointer in the context of the league. Yeah. How the hell did they lose to Fulham at home? And not only did they lose, mate, I tried to see some of that game at one point, and mate, you were battered.
We were poor. We didn't start playing until the 89th minute, where we get an equaliser, and then we played for like 4 minutes where we looked like, oh, we're going to win and we're not going to deserve it, and then they score and it's like.
I saw it going.
We were cracked today.
I felt sure that there was going to be a last-minute winner, but not to Fulham.
Yeah,
it just felt like McTominay's going to come on and win this game again.
And that's one of the things I got to criticise the manager for. I felt being without Luke Shaw, Lisandro Martinez, Højlund, difficult. It's difficult, especially when you look at the options then that come in. We made a decision to let Reguilon go back to Spurs. He's now ended up at Brentford, I know. We cancelled his loan with the idea we were going to bring a striker in on loan. We started this game without a striker, without a left back. Why didn't we just keep Reguilon? It's just baffling decision making. And then a decision from the manager. Look, Højlund was out. Big blow. He's been in massive form. He's been really good form recently. But then what he's done is Højlund's out, so he's gone, right, Rashford, you've been playing well on the left. What I'm going to do is stick you through the middle. Garnacho, you've been playing well on the right, so what I'm going to do is put you on the left. And Forson, who hasn't been in the team, I'm just going to chuck him in at the deep end. All he had to do really there was go, McTominay, this isn't ideal, but you go up top for Højlund today.
Oh, are you sure? Would you have supported that really? Because I feel like if he'd done that, you would have gone, why?
I said it before the game.
Okay.
So I have said it before the game. And my thing with McTominay has been, don't put him in midfield. He's not a good midfielder. Yeah. He's good in the box and he'll do something in the box. So then put him there. Instead, you've chucked this kid in at the deep end.
Do you not think that Marcus Rashford, in the context, Højlund's out, you need somebody to not save the day as such, but you need somebody to
step up, yes. But play him in his best position, please.
So he was switched to the right?
No, he was switched to the middle.
I'll switch to the middle with Garnacho, who's been playing amazing on the right, switch to the left. And that's criminal. He's been incredible, Garnacho.
Wait.
Why would you throw the baby out with the bathwater?
Do you not think, though? Hang on. I feel like this is... I've never...
No, Rashford deserves criticism for his
Rashford
performance.
through the middle. If Højlund's out, if I said to you hypothetically, Højlund's going to miss a game, who do Manchester United play through the middle?
Rashford.
Would your answer not be Rashford?
No, Rashford's best position on the left.
I know.
Yeah, but players have to deputise where they don't want to.
No, I know. But I just felt like we've had so much momentum building. We've had all this. We've finally seen some patterns of play with Garnacho on the right and Rashford. Why are you then just... It's gone right. We've got one thing.
But your rationale doesn't hold up when you're playing for one of the biggest clubs in the world, because the striker position is more important than a winger position. I know what you're trying to say, but the striker position, so you have to just say to Rashford, you have to just drop aspects of the game which you don't like when you play down the middle. I don't care if you like being a left winger. You have to play for Man United.
I don't think it's just about being...
You have to work hard.
I'm not sure it's just about liking. His best performances come from the left. Like...
Rooney wanted to be a striker. Rooney would have been a striker for 15 years in a row at Man United, but he had to play where the club needed him.
What I'm on about is just getting the best out of the players you have.
Yeah, of course.
I feel like you immediately went, right, Garnacho been playing well on the right. Take that out of there. Take that.
That's crazy
and
to me.
Instead of changing just one player, we changed three.
Yeah.
And
Is there anyone else at the
club? And then
club?
the subs were weird as well.
Is there anyone else at the club that could play through the middle? Like, I know you haven't got him anymore.
Maybe
Ahmad
Diallo, although out of position, you could have potentially... But even that's...
Bruno Fernandes, of
How
course.
does Manchester United not have a backup striker?
Martial's injured.
God, I wouldn't have thought him either.
But that would have been
the upright.
natural option.
But I think it's more than that. It's not just the front.
But then
three.
you look at the left back. We had Lindelof playing there.
Lindelof, yeah, but you still shouldn't be losing. You shouldn't be losing to Fulham. We've got the second worst away record to Sheffield United in the league.
Agreed.
And you're seeing Bruno Fernandes running around and diving. And
Fulham would have only gone there wanting a point. Do you know that?
They were happy.
They would
with
have gone there wanting a point.
They really showed that to us because they capitulated out of nowhere.
And
they
Bruno
really followed the whole thing.
I defend Bruno Fernandes a lot because he's one of those players that. Look, I think him and Rashford have bad games, but sometimes people go, yeah, get rid of him. And I think, you don't need to get rid of our two best players here. But at the same time, he's the captain for Manchester United. And I just thought, you're supposed to be leading by example here. You've got a young lad in Kobbie Mainoo playing up behind you. You've got Amari Forson playing, who's a young lad. Garnacho's a young lad. And you're supposed to be leading by example here. And everything that goes wrong, instead of just... And look, you can never doubt he'll put the miles in, he'll work, he'll run all the kilometres you want. But sometimes just your attitude on the pitch can rub off people the wrong way. And I find waving your arms and moaning. Look, the referees are crap. Everyone knows. But sort your own performance out. Try and drag your team through this game instead of just looking for an excuse all the time. And I found that really, really annoying. And I think I did say before Bruno got the captaincy, I don't think he should be captain for moments like that. And I think that was one of the things, again, I was just like, come on, Bruno, man. But I do think, look, I'm dragging on a little bit. I do think Erik ten Hag is battling for his future at the club at the moment.
I think it's over, Ed.
I think it's over. In terms of you don't see him changing anything now.
No.
You think it's too far gone for him to make those positive changes?
Because even when good things happen at Manchester United now, it's not incomparable to Chelsea. If Pochettino has a good result, I still want him out. I think Erik ten Hag is not as bad, nowhere near as bad, but regardless of how well it goes, regardless of pulling a result, say, for example, Manchester United really pull it out of the bag and beat City. I still don't think Erik ten Hag is the man. I still don't think he's...
I think there's a similar... I think there is a good coach there. I think we saw it last season as well. And I do think a lot of times, especially at Manchester United, we've seen it with so many great coaches where it just becomes... There's too much to do almost for them at times. But I do get the fear because there'll become a point with a manager where it's too far gone.
Yeah.
You're
only ever read the paper away from a terrible result again, aren't you? Yeah.
I don't want it to get to a point where even if we change everything around it, the recruitment becomes good and everything, where he's just lost the dressing room. I don't think that's happened yet.
Yeah.
But I do fear that we'll be getting...
The way Ratcliffe came out as well was very vocal this week, and I think that alludes to someone that wants real direct change at the club. And even if it is the behest of someone that comes in, might not even be the right manager compared to Ten Hag. I think Ratcliffe he wants to be bold, he wants to be seen about the place, making change.
Crucially, mate, I thought he was very non-committal when it came to the conversation around Ten Hag. Very non-committal.
Yes.
What he did say,
being non-committal is kind of being committal to
what he did
not
say,
wanting him
which
in the club.
I liked, was that he said it's not just them. I know that's not to say he's not going to sack Ten Hag. I still think Ten Hag's, like I've just been saying here, he's on trial basically between now and the end of the season. But I did like that he said, look, there's so many things going wrong at Manchester United that we can't just look at the managers all the time, right? You have to fix what's above them.
But Fulham's the one where you can really say Ten Hag got it wrong. I think,
And
unfortunately,
some of the things he said after were baffling as well, because he seemed to come out quite positive after it, which you usually go, oh, he's in trouble. You know, when the manager's trying to fool you into thinking, no, actually, mate, that was quite good. You're going, I think you're in danger. I do. And I think they're definitely looking at things by the Ineos gang.